Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie, and this is Flamin Hot Reviews. Today, we've got a very special episode. We have a guest. Yes, this is my friend. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm author Randall Cooper, and I'm honored to be on Flamin Hot Reviews.
Yes, friend of the show here. He has purchased a Flamin Hot product, but a very unusual one that is unlike what we normally review here on the show, as it is mainly made of chocolate. So not exactly a savory snack like you might typically see. So we'll be branching out, and he and I will be reviewing it together and giving each of our thoughts, whether they are the same or whether they differ. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and open the product up, take a look at it. Why don't you go ahead and explain where you got this and what it is.
Absolutely.
And I will open it up.
So I bought it from a place called Bon Bon Bon, and at Bon 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 you can buy a floppy disk that is made out of white chocolate, and it's flavored like hot Cheetos. So that is what we will be ingesting momentarily.
Yes, yes. I found this absolutely fascinating when I was told about it and knew I just had to try it, had to review it. So we're going to go ahead and give it a look here. Wow, look at that. So it really does look like a floppy disk. It even has a nice little label on here, Hot Picks. Get that box out of here. But yes, Hot Picks. But will it have hot flavors? I suppose we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, so, right off the bat, whoa, there's dust on the back there.
That is important. So
holy smokes.
Yeah, got a whole lot of the Cheetos dust. And I got to say, it's got a nice orangey, kind of pinkish color. Definitely denotes, that this is probably going to be spicy. And if you look closely, it might be kind of hard to see. You can see embedded in the chocolate, lots of little nodules, little bits of that flavored dust. So that, to me, good impression. It seems like we're probably going to get some big flavor.
We're off to a good start. Let me grab a plate so we don't get the table too dirty.
Excellent idea, yes. So, gotta say, I just really, really am enjoying the packaging, the aesthetics of this. Very nice so far. And I'm excited. I have never had spicy chocolate before, but I do believe that is a thing in some, it's an established thing.
In some countries.
Yes, indeed.
Cultures.
How hot chocolate first was invented in South America. They would actually add spiciness to it. Yeah, Tabasco. Yeah. Well,
really? I was just joking.
Not Tabasco. But they would add spicy peppers to it, and that was actually not a very sweet drink, more of a spicy drink. So sort of a throwback to the Incan Empire, or maybe the Aztecs. I'm not sure. All right. So I guess hopefully this paper is edible.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Should we peel it off?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give it a peel. Oh, no, it looks edible.
It says Hot Picks on it.
It does say Hot Picks. You know what? I think it's edible. I'm going to eat it.
Go for it.
All right. I'm going to try and split this in half.
Go for it. Did you wash your hands?
Absolutely. Corona's going around. Of course I wash my hands.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to each take a half, and we're going to bite into it. Just review of the scale. Get a little bit of that paper.
Yeah.
Well, it's edible.
Yeah.
I don't think... Okay. The paper's not what we're here for. Pretty sure that is fondant, which is a sort of sugary, sort of Play-Doh-like material and texture that is often used in cakes and pastry baking. So pretty sure that's what that is. Personally, not a big fan of fondant. But that's okay, because it's just that little bit. So, to give you a bit of a reminder of the scale we're going to be working with here, we're going to be testing it out for texture, spiciness, and flavor. Now, it is important to note that while typically we measure up these snacks against things like Flamin Hot Cheetos, this, of course, would be a little bit different because it is not a chip-like snack. It's not a Cheeto-like snack. So we will still be using the same scale, but we may have to kind of rate things a little bit differently since this is a little bit more difficult to compare to a standard Cheeto. So, all right, gonna go ahead and dive right in there.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's see how it is. Go for another bite, get another impression. All right, interesting. Very interesting. You want to go ahead and give your thoughts first? Have you had enough to give a good impression?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
So how do you feel about the texture of it first?
Texture is fantastic. It reminds me of the Hershey's cookies and cream bars that I used to buy as a kid. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I had those, but it's pretty soft, and it's nice. Got a good texture, I think.
Yeah, I'm digging it. So out of 5, how would you say
That's
you rate
right.
it? How would you say you rate it?
4.
4 out of 5.
4 on texture, yeah.
Pretty strong score.
Yeah.
So for me, I agree. So the texture of the chocolate just by itself is pretty nice. It's definitely a softer chocolate. There's not really much of a snap. You can tell that it has not been tempered. This is not tempered chocolate. Or if it has been tempered, it's not for very long. Definitely softer chocolate. Very much melts in your mouth. And then what's interesting is because there is these bits of dust, and not just dust, but straight up crushed up Cheetos that is mixed in. It does give it just like a little bit of not really like a crunch, like a crispiness. I think how you said it's kind of reminiscent of those cookies and cream Hershey's bars. I think that's very true. It almost feels like a crunch bar if you kind of took out some of the little crunchy bits, if it had like less of the like Rice Krispies in it. It tastes a lot like that. Personally, I'm not as big of a fan of the texture though.
Okay.
I think the Cheeto bits almost could be a little bit larger because I would like a bit more crispiness. I feel like right now the softness of the chocolate with the amount of crispiness in there, to me, not creating a great mouthfeel. That being said, the chocolate itself is nice, smooth. I'm digging it. So for me, texture, it's gonna be about a 3 out of 5. Still not bad, but not gonna rate it as highly. So, all right. So we're gonna do the spiciness of it now, and so this will be interesting because I know for us, we both have a very different tolerance of spiciness. So while myself, I've got a pretty high tolerance for spicy. I eat spicy food all the time. I believe you're not as tolerant when it comes to spicy.
No tolerance.
Yeah, none at all. So it'll be a little interesting to see how your perspective differs here. So when you're ready, go ahead and give your thoughts.
Yeah, so I think that the spiciness, it's like a 4 for me. Like it's like more powerful than I was expecting it. It really was like a punch to the throat to me. So that caught me off guard. But due to the chocolatiness of it, it kind of mutes the spice. But there was a moment there where I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually more spicy than I was expecting.
All right. And you see, that's interesting because for me, I would say it is not as spicy. I do think the spice is there, but to me, it's more of a top note, you know, and we'll get into that a bit more when it comes to the flavor. But for me, it's like the spiciness, it's present, but it's kind of like an addition, you know. You bite into it. When I'm biting into it, I'm getting the creaminess of the chocolate. I'm getting the flavor of the white chocolate itself. And the spiciness to me is just kind of on top. It's just kind of something that rides there. You know, I got a little bit of a tongue tingle. And as you mentioned before, you know, the chocolate is doing a lot to kind of downplay the spiciness because of the way the dairy interacts with the capsaicin in the Cheetos dust. You know, the lipids in the fat of the cream kind of work to trap some of the capsaicin. And when you are consuming it in your mouth, a lot of the molecules of the capsaicin that would normally cause you to experience the sort of pain reaction that we typically have to spiciness, they get trapped in the lipids of fat, and so you don't get it as much. So for me, someone with a higher tolerance, this is certainly not as spicy. For you, of course, is a bit more spicy. So, which I think is an interesting dynamic here, because if you are someone like how you are, where you're a little less tolerant to spicy food, you know, this might be something that you might want to be a little more careful with. Whereas if you're a bit more experienced when it comes to spiciness, you know, if you're a regular consumer of Flamin' Hot products especially, this is definitely something that's like totally safe, totally good for you. So maybe something that's a bit more advanced.
It's good for you.
It's good for you, yes.
This is healthy.
Good for the soul.
This
some
can
would say.
substitute a vegetable.
I agree. Yes, I 100% endorse that. That the Natty Spice seal of approval, I would say. All right, so well, out of 5, for me, spiciest, it's gonna be a 2 out of 5. Not that bad at all. I don't think it's that it's terrible.
Yeah, spiciness for me was like a 4. Just this after punch of spiciness that I felt in the back of my throat.
I will say the spiciness does linger.
Yeah.
I can still definitely feel it. So it's not, to me, it's not a super high heat, but it's a fast, or not fast. It's like a slow burn. It's there. Okay, so here you want to take another chunk and
sure, happily. Oh my god,
it's tasty. Yeah, well, we're gonna get into the flavor,
yummy.
And yeah, I agree. The flavor definitely where it shines the most, I would say.
Yeah, it's like, it kind of tastes like strawberry to me, and I'm not sure if it's just like a mental gymnastic that my mind is playing on me
Because of the pink
color. Yeah, but it's really good white chocolate nonetheless.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And I'm not big on white chocolate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but you're enjoying
I'm
this.
really enjoying this.
Well, okay, that's good. Yeah, I think the flavor is fantastic. To me, that is definitely the strongest part of this. And I think, these two things together, the spiciness, because even though, spiciness, it's not actually a flavor per se, but it creates something that's similar to a flavor sensation. And so I think that, in combination with this really nice white chocolate, it's really great, because I love white chocolate personally, but admittedly it can be a little boring. Just by itself it can get old really fast. And so I think especially because this thing is pretty packed with the flavor dust. It's got a lot in there. Every bite you're getting some, and so every bite you get this nice creamy smooth white chocolate, and you get that nice kind of savory the umami flavor of the spicy Flamin Hot Cheetos dust. So for me, flavor 5 out of 5 for sure. For sure, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 on the flavor for me too.
Yeah, absolutely delicious. So to kind of do just a bit of a review, so on my end, I did rate this a little bit lower than you did, with a 3 out of 5 for the texture, 2 out of 5 for the spiciness, but a 5 out of 5 for flavor.
That's huge.
Yeah, and I say, and that being said, even though those other 2 ratings were not the highest, I really gotta say the flavor really does a lot of work. So even though for me texture wasn't the best, not super spicy, that flavor is just so good that it can really make up for it. So even though my rating was a little bit low, still definitely a recommend. You did more of you did 4 out of 5. You did 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, and 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So this is something you really enjoyed.
Yeah,
so
highly recommend.
Yeah.
I almost I'm debating on eating the rest of this.
You
right
can,
now.
yeah, go ahead. No, maybe not right now because we're still recording.
That's right.
But yeah, so this is a big recommend for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely very interesting. Definitely something I'm glad I tried. Very different than anything I've had before. So that's going to be it for the review. If you want to see other content featuring Randall Cooper, go ahead and give a shout out to your channel.
Sure. I review books and talk about writing things, and it's fun. So check out my channel at Portal Box.
It's great content. Very great content, especially if you're interested in literature. Very interesting stuff to see. You always bring a great perspective.
Oh, thank you.
I think. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
So, all right. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like or comment or subscribe or share or do anything else that you could possibly do to spread the video.
Burn in hell.
Please.